South Africa today has become the most violent democracy in the world. The police are frequently outnumbered and outgunned by hardened criminals, many of whom are militarily trained. An elite SAS-style rapid reaction unit, originally born out of a major embassy hostage crisis in Johannesburg, is now working alongside the police on the streets. They are known as the Special Task Force. One of South Africa's largest illegal drug factories has just been raided. Arrested are criminals and drug dealers wanted by police for the last 15 years. Seized is raw narcotics with a street value of £10 million. Today's haul is just part of the £500 million worth of illegal drugs confiscated every year in South Africa. The Special Task Force is one of the most secretive units in the world. This is the first time they have ever been filmed. The task force is used to assist the police in a wide and diverse scope of situations, ranging from hostage rescue, anti-terrorism and high-risk arrests, to numerous situations where the local police find themselves outgunned. The unit is frequently requested to protect VIPs. In this capacity, it is deployed in a multitude of roles, including bodyguarding, surveillance, and counter-sniping. When President Clinton visited South Africa, only one unit was allowed to work alongside America's Secret Service, the Special Task Force.
Thank you so much for bringing South Africa. And I thank the people of Soweto for making Hillary and me feel welcome here.
The selection process is one of the most rigorous in the world. It's always been open to everyone, regardless of race, sex, or creed. Live ammunition is used throughout. Selection lasts 6 months, and on average, 1 in 50 passes. The unit begins each day on parade with a reading from the Bible and a prayer. Mid-morning at the Special Task Force's base in Pretoria. The tranquility of the morning is about to be interrupted.
Apparently there's two guys that have taken hostages in the bank while they were trying to rob the bank. While they've taken people hostage in the bank. That's all that we know at this stage.
A highway patrol escort ensures the crack unit has an unhindered journey to the bank. In South Africa today, there are on average 9 bank robberies a week. In the confusion, the bank manager escapes, along with plans of the building.
You'll be able to stand here and see them. This is a bulletproof glass.
Yeah, but the problem is they are able to see you also.
Right?
Okay.
Did you look at the guy who held you up? Did you see what he looked like?
He was the first one to be held.
Yeah, well, I know them, yes. Yeah.
I hope they don't bank with you.
We know now that there's 2 guys that are holding the people on. There's 9 hostages. And we've just been told that we can't use the front door because there's bulletproof glass in front of the tellers, and he is behind the tellers, the 2 guys, obviously. So we're thinking of a plan to go through the back door.
I'm Detective Sergeant Buchele. My first name is Francis. I'm a hostage negotiator. I'm a trained hostage negotiator. For the moment, everybody is safe, it's inside. So I've been negotiating with the guy. He says he does not want to give me the name. What we know for the moment is that they are armed with 2 pistols and 1 revolver, according to the information we obtained from the first person who got outside. We are still waiting. I said I'll call him later, but he says he does not want police visibility, and he is not prepared to surrender himself. He'd rather die and he'd rather kill some of the hostages inside.
Francis attempts contact once more, but now faces a problem not covered by the official hostage negotiator manual.
Can't get hold of him. It says please try again later.
Hostage rescue and saving lives is this elite unit's main objective. Every opportunity is given for a peaceful outcome.
So jy kan nie meer binne kyk nie niks. As jy gaan oor kyk, ons is in klein manier as jy gaan oor kyk, gaan jy direk oorkom wat moet maak.
As time ticks on, they try to keep a watchful eye on the position of the hostages and hostage takers.
Yeah, ke Sergeant Buchele kopa bua le Thabang ne. Okay.
Okay, the latest information we've heard from the hostage negotiator is that when the 2 criminals, the battery of their cell phone is finished, then their negotiations is also finished. That's what we've heard now.
Inside the bank, the criminals have called 702, a local radio station, which informs them that the Special Task Force are poised to storm the building. With this new information, the criminals swiftly change tactics.
They're going to come out.
Do you know when?
Anytime now. They're busy talking to a radio station. So I don't know. It's Radio 702. So they should be out any time now.
The crowd of spectators jeers the robbers as they emerge. The public have had enough of crime.
They knew it would end up in them being killed. They'd rather go for the South African jails than end up dead. They knew they were going to get some resistance. So they just made sure that they come out alive. That was their goal.
Your World in 80 Seconds. I'm Diane Snow-Westhuizen. 2 young policemen have been shot dead while taking a rape suspect to the police station at Dawn Park on the East Rand. The driver was shot in the head and his reservist colleague died on his way to hospital after being shot in the head and chest. 89 police have been killed this year, 78 of them in Gauteng.
At the moment in South Africa, crimes are violent. All of the crimes consist of people with handguns and AK-47s. So the Highway Patrol guys go for the severe and very serious complaints all the time. Therefore, at this stage, it's necessary to put a specialized person on the car to give advice and to help tactically in a gunfight should it be necessary. We are traveling in well-marked police cars and we've become targets to people in ambushes. So we are many a time attacked by people without knowing it's going to happen. We are engaged into gunfights without knowing it's going to happen.
Possible hostage situation. There's a shooting in progress. Suicide in progress.
I don't know why. Probably about women or.
I have to stand here. Just come over the bed.
Can you bring one of
A black man raped a black woman. And now the people of the community there, they want to execute that person now by hanging him from a tree there. Because they believe he's guilty.
Left out of a motor vehicle in progress.
Lone females in cars are often seen as soft targets by criminals. Unusually, this carjacker explains his strategy.
I just go to the window and ask a missus of, "Madam, can I ask you something?" When he opens the window, just point him with the gun and tell him, "Get out the car." Then I take the car Then I take the car and go.
But when guns are involved, the outcome can be fatal, resulting in yet another death on the streets.
A security guard has been killed in a cash-in-transit heist. Between 15 and 20 armed robbers attacked a convoy of...
Some of the most violent crimes in South Africa are raids on armored security vans carrying cash. The gangs are heavily armed, and the attacks are carried out with military precision. There are 5 such heists a week, and the gangs often execute all personnel on board. The task force has had a tip-off about a major raid.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
Here's your chocolates.
For cover and protection, they are about to hide in the well of a brick lorry. Adrenaline is running high.
It's exciting. This is why I joined the unit. Yeah?
Any butterflies, any fear?
Yeah, obviously a lot of fear. Always scared. Scared is a good thing.
The gang's intended target is the payroll van for a large gold mine. The intelligence is that the van is going to be rammed at the foot of the bridge.
Okay, the other cars, the suspect cars are starting up. Okay, the cars are starting, the suspect cars. They're 300 meters away from the bridge. Okay, Roger, wat van die voertuig?
Roger, al die takie voertuie, ry maar net aan, draai om as daar niks gebeur het nie. Veste sal weet ons wat gaan aan, ons weet nie hoor. Hoe staan in die bos, hoor? Van hulle. Staan hulle in die bos. Dis ons van hulle.
With the unit on the scene, the suspects scatter in the bush. The task force immediately gives chase.
They try to bomb the FG van out of the way with this car.
With assistance from the air, the criminals are rounded up.
Well, there's one guy running around here somewhere. We're just going to go look for his squirt at the bottom. This is some of the stuff that we found close by to where the robbery was supposed to take place. We've got an R4 with a balaclava type of thing in a bag that obviously they carried the guns with. Well, it's successful because they didn't manage to rob anything, I suppose. But it's unfortunate that we couldn't have maybe arrested a couple more. Well, I'm not sure. Let's hear at the top here if they've got some guys. I'm not sure.
Okay, sal ek eers by die masier is, hoor?
Ja, dis bevestigend, hoor.
This suspect is pretending to be part of the mine's workforce. With a combination of speed and training, the Special Task Force has arrested the gang's members without a shot being fired. Once the suspects have been cuffed and handed over to the local detectives, the task force's involvement is over. Back at base, and intelligence just received predicts yet another attack on a security cash van in 48 hours' time. Information says this gang is well armed, highly motivated, and extremely dangerous. All signs point to a big shootout. The men are back in training. With a few hours left, the details are gone over again and again until they are thoroughly committed to memory. This quiet time gives Ashley Crooks, a veteran task force officer, time to reflect.
Thou shalt not kill is written in the Bible, and it's what I do for the country and for my people, and for peace and security in the country. I don't know how anybody can go through life without being a Christian and just have that belief in God, because I mean, when I go in any battle situation, I say, yeah, they'll walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. I mean, you know the Psalms 23, is it? And it gives me solace, it gives me comfort. Okay, this is looking good. It's those transit robberies. These guys that are hijacking all the cash and delivery trucks. They're working on the just outside Pretoria, Johannesburg area. These guys are basically, excuse me, they're basically robbing the transit, cash in transit, which is being taken to the banks and things. This looks good because we've got some good information, and it seems like we're going to get them this time. What I'm going to take with is the reason why I'm putting in my overall is so they don't see my uniform. I'm going to be in a truck. We've had our briefing, and I'm going to take my small 7.62 R1 with, you know, FN, and just going to load some armor-piercing bullets here to stop the vehicle with.
You know, the armor piercing, a little black tip. These guys are highly trained, as I've said. They use AK-47 rifles. They normally throw a jar or a Molotov cocktail, a petrol bomb on top of the vehicle, and forcing the occupants to climb out. And what they then do is they execute them next to the road. Execution style, put them on their knees and bang them behind the head. So we're dealing with ruthless people over here. Okay, I think that's right there. I'll fill this one up. Oh yeah. All right, that seems like it's fine. I'm going to just take these 2 magazines with. And of course the old webbing with a radio, with comms. All my magazines here and my radios in here. Okay, and let's go and see if we can do it.
With 1 hour to go, the latest intelligence is being assessed. Everyone is completely focused on the task ahead. Several task force plainclothes teams are patrolling the area where the robbery is expected to take place.
Let's go. Oh, look at hot. Stiak.
Okay, no check. Cannot confirm it.
An advanced task force unit is under direct automatic fire. As they try to run over a task force officer, one getaway vehicle crashes and bursts into flames. Their Molotov cocktails explode in their hands. While a hijacker in the blue vehicle had opened fire on the task force with an assault rifle.
They basically try to pull off that truck and rob them. Yeah. They've got AKs on the back here. We identified ourselves as police officers. They fired at us. We defended ourselves.
How many times have you living?
I don't know. I've just come out of that line.
Out of 12 armed robbers, 7 have been arrested, 5 fatally wounded. The cash transit drivers have walked away without a scratch. The last gang members are taken into custody. Within minutes of the shootout, the medics are on the scene, attending the wounded robbers.
We do a job that we train for and that we enjoy. We don't enjoy, having to take people's lives and that type of thing, but we enjoy being law enforcement officers. It's a calling that we've answered to, and that's what we do. And the best part of being that is being able to come home as well and say, well, this is my home, this is my loved ones, my dogs and my wife. And no, I wouldn't say we're killing machines, but if the occasion arises, then we are killing machines. Unfortunately, that's the way life is. It's the way society has made us. Guys, have a look at my new roses. This is the first one for the season. I picked it for my love. There's another one coming out. Isn't that beautiful? In fact, these are red ones. You can have a look at that hole over there, and there's a hole over there. I spent the whole Saturday afternoon looking for a white rose and a yellow rose to sort of accommodate these. There's a hole in the fence where there's a dog at the neighbors. Bonnie and Gus took the onus on themselves to dig up my roses and eat them. And this is all that I got left. And this is a bit big, so she won't eat them. Hopefully not. But you can see it's a spot over here. They've actually got a little path over here, and she loves roses, but no eating roses. Naughty little girl.
Ashley Crooks has been in the unit for 15 years. Now divorced from his first wife, his personal life has been sacrificed for the job. He sees his daughter Danielle much less than he would like to.
Sanya, get your hands ready.
When I saw my dad this morning, well, it was like I was really happy because I haven't seen him for such a long time. He's always away and I'm always away, so we don't really stay in touch, but we do as often as we can.
There, all right. Okay, put your finger on. And squeeze. There you are. See where it is. Another one. Put your finger on the trigger. Get ready. Okay, turns a bit low. That's a good shot. Good shot.
I feel about my dad doing all this dangerous work. I feel rather worried for him and scared as well.
But a lifetime's experience of combating crime hasn't made the issues any easier to live with for Ashley.
Looking through your telescope onto a person that you know, you've been given the lawful order from your commander to snipe, is I would say a peculiar feeling, because he's absolutely unaware of your presence. He's absolutely unaware that within seconds he's going to die. And looking through your telescope and taking up the aim and taking up the slack of a 3-pound trigger, knowing that in your finger that's the end of his life, it's a peculiar feeling. There's no other way to describe it. And when it's finished, you actually feel sad and empty, and it's not a good feeling.
According to Task Force legend, the base has a sinister and unwelcome guest.
I'd rather run into the bush and I know there's 10 people that want to shoot me than have to come and sleep at one night in here alone, because you can actually feel it. There's definitely I wouldn't say evil presence, but a presence that I don't like.
You come here, there's always funny little noises.
There's no way I'll sleep your mind.
If I visit you as well over the weekend, there's something bothering me the whole time. There's something bothering, but I'm not like. First of all, put on the lights and have a look in the walls.
Other day we went on a job, came in, as you can put our guns away or whatever, walked down here, now we're chatting about this shit, that this office isn't lekker. But Chris is on the second floor, and he must have heard us not talking about this. As me and him walked down the stairs to the second floor.
He comes out of the dog passage.
He came out of the dog passage and he fucking went, wow.
Yes. At darkness, this is where you get the task force ghostly feeling. And you have to walk from here down to there where the first light is. So your walk over here is like this. To this light over here. That's a bit of a hairy spot over here. And from there, you walk up here. It's also in pitch darkness with a little bit of light coming from that side. Normally over here, you tend to get a bit of a grab. Something grabs over here. And you come technically around the corner, and you whack these lights on.
While at the office, we always try and keep our members awake. Obviously, our friend Dirkie's over there is having a little nap while on duty, and I will not tolerate that.
In a very deep slumber there.
We're on our way to a shopping mall in Pretoria, North. 5 corrupt policemen that are taking a payoff. They want to take a payoff from someone. They're setting up a deal for them, and we basically going as backup and to arrest the 5 corrupt policemen. They will have firearms with them, their service pistols. So I would say it can get dangerous, yeah.
The policemen of South Africa, they are working hard in such a way. They are always working with their life. They sign for their life because the criminals of South Africa, they used to shoot. And so the policemen, they see that because they don't get nothing. Because you see, a person being a policeman is having 3 children per month. It can be getting about 500 rand. And what you're gonna do about 500 rand? Because all other money, the tax is high, everything is high, but the money which we get is so low. And so the policemen, they start to join the criminals.
Okay, well, here we are, we're in position. And all that we've got to do now is just wait.
Okay, kom nog so blou bussie, nog so Ford Husky of moet jy bussie daai so daai blou kleur van hulle. Hoeveel mense is daar presies?
As I was saying earlier, he likes to sleep on duty.
Warren, dis 'n go.
The surveillance team has observed the handing over of the bribe. The role of Warren and Yegis is to cut off the suspect's escape route. Both plainclothes and uniformed task force officers are already on the scene.
Wat wil ek hier? Wat wil ek hier nog was?
Bly net voor. Bly stil. Okay, wag hier so.
Wag even. Wel dan. Maar dan hier so maar.
These are the 4 suspects that we were talking about on the road. And the deal's been done, apparently. And we've got them all. No problems, no, they didn't run away. This is some of their firearms that are state firearms. What I can understand is they're all policemen.
The detectives were taking bribes from big-time criminals to lose their case files so that they never came to court.
There's some of the notes and the cash that they were dealing with that they dealt out to each other.
Unfortunately, with wages so low in the police force, corruption has become a major problem. Outside of the affluent suburbs, poverty, poor housing and high crime are the realities of life. In townships like Alexandra, low-paid local police officers are living side by side with those they are fighting against. In Alexandra, guns and crime are a way of life. 320 policemen were murdered in South Africa last year, the highest figure in the world. Many are killed just for their guns. The guns are used to commit yet more crime. Today they've been called to a shooting. 28-year-old Alfred Masimola, a known criminal, has been shot through the spine on the streets of Alexandra.
Just lie still like that, okay?
They took my firearm and my car. I knew the suspect, and then today I was here the whole day, and then I found the suspect, and then I tried to stop him. He wanted to run away. I shot him with 1 round.
And you're a policeman yourself?
And I'm a policeman.
From which station?
Alexandra.
I see.
Turn back this way.
James, let's worry about spine mobilization. That's what has crossed the midline.
I just had a child calling me that they've shot my brother. Then I came out here rushing, and I found him lying down here. We're very close.
Can I put a hole through your throat?
No, I don't feel guilty. I was protecting my property because he took my firearm and my car.
The policeman who shot Alfred is now concerned for his own safety.
The people, they are looking at me and then they know, oh, that's the policeman. Maybe if I'm going somewhere, I'm not safe anymore like before.
The task force is on hand as backup, as even the medics don't feel safe.
We get shot at on a regular basis. I think we've been shot at about 5 or 6 times in the past week or so. Alexandra is the second most violent area in South Africa.
They're taking out one of his lungs, the other half of the other lungs.
But despite their best efforts, Alfred did not survive.
Sorry, I want to see the policeman, the one who took my child.
He was one of the 25,000 people murdered in South Africa last year. With violent crime on the increase, and with criminals so well armed, the task force's busiest work involves the arrest of high-risk suspects. The local police don't have the training or the motivation to deal with the risks involved.
Okay, right.
The task force aims to hit them hard and fast,
Keep like that.
like this kidnapper. In South Africa, there are a staggering 4,000 kidnappings a year. The task force have made it their speciality. Warren Morris had a recent job dealing with a drug-crazed mother who was hanging her own child out of a window some 10 stories up.
She had the kid out by the ears, then back in the flat, and then scream, and then out with the legs and holding her with one hand. I mean, it's a 10-story flat building, so that, I mean, certain death, certain death. Negotiations had fallen apart. We went in through the front door. That's the front door. We had guys on ropes at the windows at the back. On my left, about 45 degrees, there was the woman holding the baby out of the window. At that stage, I couldn't see the baby. I just saw the woman's arms. And as I reached for the baby, she let the baby go, and I caught it, luckily enough, with one hand on the top of her foot, on the top of her ankle like that. Picked up the little baby. The best feelings that I'll never forget, that little face of hers. She wasn't even screaming, nothing. She was just like dead quiet, big eyes. And I had to give the baby straight away to someone else, because then I had to walk out of this. That was quite traumatic.
Hello. Oops.
When coming home, I've got to put my job type of scenario, my work thinking and my work direction, I've got to put away, and I've got to be the normal person that I am. To try and keep my kid and my wife happy, as well as the task force officers happy, is it's a work of art that I haven't exactly mastered to date, but I'm trying. But anyway, this is a sauce that we based onto this snook that I'm busy frying. It's a mixture of apricot jam, butter, garlic, black pepper, and some secret herbs and spices. Yeah, and then we just baste it on there. It's just about ready. Just about ready to eat.
Well, the most worrying part is Lauren working with high-risk situations, and you never know whether he's coming home or not.
From being in if I had, say, a shootout or whatever, or a horrific situation, coming back home, it's a happy change. And I would say it was the best type of way of getting rid of such a scenario, to get it out of your head and come home to a happy family where I get lots of love from my kid and my wife.
It's late morning at the Special Task Force head office in Pretoria. They've just heard that this woman has gone into a police station to say that she's been raped, and that her boyfriend, Martin Landman, has been kidnapped by a 10-strong gang of Nigerians, threatening to execute him if a £20,000 ransom isn't paid. The task force has set up an incident room, and Martin's sister is on the phone, trying to find out any information on his last movements. Martin's girlfriend has told them that he's been badly beaten up, and she's given them a description of the gang's leader. In the meantime, they've called in Martin's father as they try and identify who might have kidnapped him. He tells the team that he knows nothing of any Nigerian connection, but that his son has already told him that he owes money to 2 men and that he was seriously worried about his safety. 4 hours later, they've got the crucial information. They've traced the gang's phone calls to a hotel room near Johannesburg Airport. As they arrive at the hotel, they've prepared for the worst. The gang could be heavily armed.
No, my balls.
But there is no sign of the Nigerian gang. It turned out that the whole kidnapping had been staged by Martin himself to get money out of his father to pay off his debts. But the majority of kidnappings involve hardened gangs, and the Special Task Force cannot afford to make mistakes. They practice their routines with live ammunition, time after time after time. The next kidnapping was certainly no hoax. A wealthy local Muslim, 28-year-old Ahmed Ali Hassan Vali, is being held hostage until a £200,000 ransom is paid.
I'm driving, I'm quite far from Johannesburg at the moment. I'm coming from the western side of Johannesburg.
With a policeman posing as a friend of Ahmed's, negotiations have just begun. The kidnappers have no idea that the whole conversation is being run by the police.
The money must be in the house.
In the house?
Yes.
Where about must I drop it at Sabera's house?
Yes, now the money must be there.
Okay, listen here.
Already there.
The people are already there.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to see Ahmad first. I must see, you see, I've got the money with me, and I must see Ahmad before I hand the money to you.
Listen to you. Go to me. When I speak to you, you fucking listen, that's all. You go fucking drop the money and don't involve yourself, because I promise you, I swear to Quran, I will fuck you up tonight. I don't want Ahmed, I want you.
No, I have to see him.
Watch out, alright?
No, you can't insist.
Watch out, because I'm gonna fuck you up and I'll fuck up all your fucking family, alright?
Listen, why are you being rude to me? Why are you being rude to me? Because me, I'm only doing a favor for Sabera. I'm only a friend of Sabera. I believe you. I believe you.
No money after half an hour in the house.
I believe you. Okay, I understand. Okay, what about the safety? What about the safety? What about the safety of Ahmad?
The more we fuck him up. The more you break, the more we fuck him up. Sabira last night, she said, in the morning she finished. Because we're supposed to start to cut his fingers and send to you people in the envelope. You need that? We'll do it tonight.
Okay, I've got the whole 2 million rand with me. Okay? I'm not a stupid person, okay?
Put the money at the
I'm
house.
worried about my safety, and I'm worried about the safety of Ahmad.
Put the money at the house and that's all.
Okay, I'll do that. I will do that day.
You'll do that.
Okay.
It's better for you, I'm telling you. I'm swearing to
But
God.
I must...
It's the money after half an hour.
But
not at
first
the
of
house.
all...
You you're going to be in jail. I'm telling you from now, and you don't want that. Don't think you far from John, can get you, will get you wherever you be. And I know which car you're driving. That goes in the Golf. I got that station, I got you address.
I'm worried about my safety. And what about Ahmad? What about Ahmad?
It's your fucking problem. We're going to take the money and then he'll be free.
Listen here, I want to know what's happening about Ahmad. I need to know. I must see him. I have to see Ahmad. Right afgeleid.
Okay, no, you're doing fine. You're doing perfect. What? We have got no deal. He wants him money. So we have no deal unless we see Ahmed. But you're doing very great.
A surveillance team has traced the whereabouts of the gang and is monitoring their every move.
One of the guys in the group fits the description of Ahmed. So they're just going to make sure now if it is Ahmed. So we're just going to wait, make sure for the description, and then we're going to move out. If they move to another place or maybe to a house, the observation teams will let us know. And if they maybe while they're moving in transito, we just move in and just bust them on the road.
2 hours later, and the surveillance officers have followed the kidnappers to a house in Johannesburg. The task force is ready to go into action.
Stop hier, stop op langs. Daar staan mense buite,
But the house has its own surprises. As the team scales the back walls, it hits an electric fence and triggers the house alarm. They've now got to get to Ahmed as soon as possible.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Down! What's happening? I said shut up! Okay.
The shouting is a deliberate tactic. It allows the elite team to dominate the room using their voices rather than their guns.
Lie down. On your back. Okay.
Think they can bullshit us?
Hey.
The operation was concluded so swiftly that none of the suspects had time to draw their weapons.
Are you all right? What's your name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
What's wrong, lady? You want to see?
Sean. Yeah, okay, good news, John.
Good love, Sean.
Are you all right? Any injuries? You're all right, okay.
This is Mr. Combat himself.
11 men arrested in connection with the suspected kidnapping of a Mpumalanga man will appear in court in Groblersdal tomorrow. Police spokesperson Mark Reynolds says the 11 were arrested by a special task team in Alberton on the East Rand last night. The 11 suspects include 4 Palestinians, 2 men from Jordan, and 1 each from Iraq, Turkey, Mozambique, Lebanon, and South Africa.
Democratic South Africa today has become a haven for criminals of all nationalities. In a police force numbering 130,000 officers, there are just 95 operational members of the Special Task Force.
That's it, boys.
With the squad on call 24 hours a day, there's always another job to go to.
We've got the hostage situation there. It's a guy that's holding his 2 sons hostage. Someone holding someone up with a firearm.